I'm the director of the Civic and Community Engagement Office at Buffalo State College. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have a panel of 4 students who are going to talk about their community engagement experiences with you, give you an opportunity to hear from them about the type of volunteer work they've done, what service learning classes they've taken, what they've done locally, nationally, internationally. It's really going to be a fun evening, a chance for you to hear about opportunities you will have if you choose to come to Buffalo State, and we're really excited that you've chosen to tune in. You're welcome to post a question right in the comment section of the feed, and those will get to us, and you can direct those specifically to an individual student or to the whole group, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. So without further ado, I'm going to have the students introduce themselves. They're going to tell you their name, their hometown, the major, when they're going to graduate, and their favorite thing about Buffalo State. So we're going to start right to my left with Ada.
Hello, my name is Ada Garcia. I'm a Spanish major. I'm a senior here at Buffalo State. I'm from Syracuse, New York, and one of the things I enjoy the most at Buffalo State is actually networking and taking advantage of every opportunity that has been offered so far. So,
and you have taken advantage of many opportunities. So
many
of
them
tonight. Great.
Yes.
Cheyenne.
Hello everyone, my name is Cheyenne Smith. I am also a senior and I'll be graduating in May of 2018, so woohoo! And I am from Brooklyn, New York, and the one thing I do enjoy about Buffalo State and my time here is definitely networking and just continuing to build relationships and knowing that those relationships are going to be long-lasting.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Okay, Christine.
My name is Christine Garris. I am an exceptional education major, and I'm due to graduate in May 2019, so about halfway. And something I've really enjoyed about Buff State is there's really opportunities everywhere I look, and everything's connected. There's so many opportunities for leadership, involvement, engagement, and I feel like everywhere I look, there's something new to try and new to do. So.
And I do see your name in a lot of places, so you take advantage of those opportunities. Yeah. Great. And last but not least, Kyle.
Well, you did save the best for last. My name is Kyle Messina. I'm a senior here at Buffalo State. I'll be graduating in actually like a month this December, which is just crazy.
Woo!
Yeah, how quick it went by. It's just nuts. So what I've really enjoyed here at Buffalo State is this business program that I've went through 4.5 years, and all the opportunities it gave me to pursue my career. And along with, for the 4 years that I've been here, I've worked with the Career Development Center. They really have helped me grow and mature as a person here at the Buffalo State campus.
Fantastic. Great. So as I mentioned, I'm the director of the Civic and Community Engagement Office. We're an office on campus that supports students interested in doing community service, getting connected to the local community, the national community, the international community, and really working to make change. So if that sounds like you want to make a difference in your community, an office like ours is there to help you get connected. So each of the students is going to tell you a little bit about some of the community service activities that they've done while they've been a student here at Buffalo State, and maybe one of their most meaningful experiences that they've had. And we're going to turn it right back over to Kyle.
Yes. So just a quick experience that I've had here at Buffalo State. I've actually worked with your husband, Steve, and your 2 kids, Noah and Griffin.
So funny.
What Buffalo State does is a Bengals Dare to Care Day one time a year, all the time in September. And one of the trips, your family got lucky enough to have me as their leader.
That's right. Yeah.
And we went to the Central Terminal, and from there, all we did was help out with picking up the trash around it to keep the preservation, to make sure it'll last for as long as it has and even longer. And then what was really cool, after we were done, we got to even go inside and see a little bit of the history of how long it's been there and everything it's went through over the past however many years. I can't remember, it was a little while ago, but it was a great opportunity.
Yeah, so Bengals Dare to Care Day is an annual event, as Kyle said. This past September, we had over 800 faculty, staff, and students involved in that one day. So they were out at 35 different sites throughout the city of Buffalo. It's an opportunity to meet new students. It's a leadership opportunity for students like Kyle to step in and lead a group of students around a project. And it's a great opportunity to give back to our city and our community around us. So thanks for doing that, Kyle.
Oh, of course, your family was awesome, by the way.
And for putting up with my kids. Okay, Christine, you want to talk a little bit about what you've done, which is really interesting and exciting stuff?
Absolutely. So my main community engagement is, it was one of the International Professional Development Schools trips, the service learning experiences. So in these trips, there's a bunch of different places that you can go. There's trips to Chile, Italy, Zambia. There's, I think, 8 or 9 of them. And I went to Chile this past summer. And the main aspects of it were we went into the schools and we taught the students English. So we experienced all different types of classrooms, all different classroom sizes. During the trip, we also did Spanish language classes. So every day, Monday through Friday, for 4 hours, we engaged in rigorous Spanish classes. But it was really fun. By the end of the third week, you know, you saw yourself improving in the Spanish language.
So you and Ada can carry on a full conversation in Spanish then, right?
So we'll see. We'll see.
No pressure.
Yeah. So and then in addition to going into the schools and participating in these Spanish classes, we also were lucky enough to do some excursions. So we hiked in the Andes Mountains, and we went down to the coast, and it was just an all-around incredible experience. It was for 3 weeks. Last May.
Amazing, last May, yeah. And the School of Education has some tremendous opportunities to go internationally, do some community engagement, as well as learn some culture and learn about educational systems throughout the world. So yeah, there's some fantastic opportunities for short-term study abroad that are affordable and exciting and engaged experiences.
Very affordable. There's lots of opportunities for scholarships, and I mean, it sounds, you know, unattainable sometimes, I think, especially if there's a bunch of different ones that you want to do, but there's so many opportunities for funding, and it's definitely doable.
That's great. Thank you very much. Cheyenne, you want to talk a little bit about
Yeah, absolutely. So it's interesting that you spoke about teaching English to different students. Over the summer of 2016, I was able to do AmeriCorps through the Community Action Center, where I was teaching refugees from Uganda, from China, and even from Burma, which I've never interacted with someone from Burma before, and I've learned to speak like Burmese and write my name in like Burmese, and there, of course, like many different languages within that one small country, and I learned a lot about their history. So that was pretty amazing, and it was adults. So I was here like, 20 years old, it's teaching like adults, and it wasn't so intimidating, but it was just like their commitment to learn English and the commitment to even like fill out like citizenship forms and all the necessary forms for them to be able to have a home here within the United States, like a home away from home, which is pretty amazing. And being a part of Buffalo State, you definitely get to have a home away from home, build communities, continue to build a community within campus and off campus as well.
Yeah, so Buffalo State has a unique opportunity through a campus-operated, it's called the Buffalo State Community Academic Center, where you were, and we do have AmeriCorps programs, which is a national service program similar to the Peace Corps, which a lot of people have heard of, but AmeriCorps is a domestic Peace Corps in the United States. So there's short-term opportunities through the summer, there's long-term, year-long commitments that people can make through AmeriCorps. And that experience you had at the Community Academic Center, which is a program that primarily supports youth and families throughout the west side of Buffalo, but really serves the immigrant and refugee community with in-depth opportunities, to learn English, to get acculturated to, a Buffalo culture, right? And to even apply for citizenship and get support with that citizenship experience. So. Yeah, I had forgotten you did that. What a cool experience. Yep, you've had so many.
I know.
Yeah,
and
that
I was
was
just
one
telling a friend the other day that she should definitely do it as well. So it's going to be pretty amazing to hear her experience.
Yeah, that opportunity will open up again soon. Yeah, definitely. Ada, what about you? Which one are you going to choose to talk about?
Good question. So my first semester of freshman year here at Buffalo State, I joined a program called Alternative Break that we have here on campus. Cheyenne and Carl would know about it a little bit. But I would say my biggest experience so far has been signing up to be a site leader and going to Detroit. That really was a great experience for me, just because I don't know, I just got so out of my comfort zone, and I was not expecting that at all. And I don't know if you guys noticed, because you guys went on my trip too. So I was kind of just, winging it, and I was like, I loved doing this, so I'm gonna just go for it. And honestly, it was an amazing, amazing experience. We went down there. Our theme was fighting poverty and creating opportunities. So we worked at a soup kitchen. We worked with disabled individuals. We also went around for like a hunt, like a tire hunt type of thing, and we made like mats and mud mats, and it was amazing to really see how the community in Detroit is still trying to, make something good out of themselves.
Yeah, you definitely did not seem to be out of your comfort zone at all when we were on that trip.
You gotta fake it till you make it, right?
Yes, the tire thing was definitely one of my favorite memories. Everything you can do with the tire is what Cass Community Home did. So it was awesome.
Yeah, so there were some pictures flashing while you were talking, I don't know if you noticed, of that trip and of various ways that you guys have done community service. And Alternative Break is one of those programs that I think we're most proud of at Buffalo State, as a really in-depth opportunity for students to commit to doing, understanding issues, social issues that they care about, and investing in those both in advance of the trip through learning about it, and then doing really intensive community service experiences while you're also living residentially as a community with the students that you're traveling with. So the group sleeps, all perhaps in a community center or a church basement, cooks together in their kitchen facilities, and then does community service during the day and educational programming and reflection and games and fun stuff, and gets to do some sightseeing too along the way. So it's really one of those programs that is remarkable. How many trips do we have this year?
This year we have 2 winters, we have 2 springs, and no, 1 spring and 2 summers.
So
yes.
total
So
5,
there you go.
Yeah, 5
She's,
trips this year.
we're actually part of the leadership, student leadership team, so we're co-coordinators.
Yeah.
So big
That's why
stuff.
you guys sat down together. We're used to traveling as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And where are those trips this year? I'll put you on the spot, remembering all of them.
Yeah, no, we're gonna go to Niagara Falls for winter, and another one's going to DC. Spring
is going to go to Virginia, which is, I led that trip last spring, of course. Well, last spring, so 2016, and now we're doing it again because it was an amazing trip. And then for summer, we're doing Baltimore and Detroit. So we're going back to Detroit, where Ada led that trip. Yeah. So it's going to be amazing once again.
And it's always fun because we can always get back to the site leaders and, give them whatever I learned from my trip, and that way they can have whatever they have in mind. So, think about
and it's totally student-led. So the students get to choose which issue area they're interested in addressing, and then design the whole experience around that issue area. So identifying where you're staying, identifying what community service activities you're going to do, and then even with your team, choosing the menu, right? So everything from start to finish is planned by the student leaders. Some decisions are easier than others, right? Pasta's always on the menu.
Yes.
But still, still a good standby, right? So. Yeah, so thank you very much. You've all done so many things. I'm sure it was hard to choose just 1 or 2 to talk about, but feel free as we're going through some of the other questions to jump in with some of the other experiences that you've had. I'll direct this one back at Kyle. What would you say the most important thing that you've learned from one of your community service experiences, or from kind of the whole type of experiences you've had?
I think it'll probably be a whole type, but just to zone in on an example. So as Ada mentioned, I also did Alternative Break, but from her trip, I had such a great time, I wanted to lead my own. So we actually led my own to Boston last spring. It was me and my co-site leader, and one of the biggest examples I can say of one of the most important things was we actually handed out sandwiches to people of poverty on the streets. And you just saw, but when you gave them something physical, their face light up, or how great it was that someone either recognized them or gave them a smile or anything like that. So just really the smallest act of kindness can go the longest way, and I got to experience it firsthand. So for me, that was really an enlightening experience.
Great, thank you very much. Ada, you want to answer that question too?
Sure. So Can we take a break? Sorry.
Oh,
Take a
sure.
break,
You
yeah.
want to think about it for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Cheyenne, you want to tackle that one?
Yes, absolutely. So one of the most important things I would say, just kind of piggybacking off of Kyle, is that we have a lot to offer to ourselves and to our community whenever we do volunteer or go into the community, because we just learn so much about ourselves and about everyone else, and it just makes the community just a better place to be in, to live in, and you understand each and every one. So like if someone's, like walking on the street, especially if it's like your own community and they may seem like they're in distress, you've probably done community service with that individual before, so it's easy for you to go up and see what's wrong with them, or the case may be, and just build as a community versus just sort of walking by and not even, acknowledging that this person is in distress. Like, it makes the community just a better place, even if you just smile at that individual like you were saying, or just like say, hey, good morning, and then you just kind of go about your business. But it just, continues to build unity and keep the village as a whole.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of describing it. And, we go through all of the different components of our life, right? And we tend to connect with people who we're most comfortable around and people that are similar to us and have similar backgrounds, similar interests, right? And so getting yourself outside of that comfort zone and connecting with people who have different life experiences from your own really teaches you so much about the places that people come from and the influences that we all have that make us who we are, right? And make the world such an amazing place. So, yeah.
All right, back to me. No, one of the things I really have learned working in the community has been like getting more involved with social issues and actually, learning more about what's happening in the community in Buffalo and Syracuse, because a lot being from upstate, a lot of it is really familiar. And so when I came from Cuba when I was 10 years old, and I came to upstate, but to a suburban high school, and I was never really familiar with like the city of Syracuse. So once I came to the city of Buffalo, and got involved in the community, that really made me realize like how much really is going on, and it made me really get involved more and learn more about every issue that is happening, because it's a lot to work on. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Christine, I'll fire one at you.
All right.
Can you tell me something that surprised you when you were in Chile? Something that you didn't expect to learn?
Well, I guess one moment in particular that stood out to me, we were walking through, so one of the schools we visited, we were walking through after being welcomed by administration, and we were walking through the courtyard, and all the students were out. It was during their afternoon recess, and there were hundreds of students in this huge courtyard running around having fun, and there were 10 or 15 of us that were coming, and we were walking through, and we were attacked by them. I mean,
in a good way.
In a good way. They were so excited that we were there. We really, when we were talking about it after, we felt like superstars. It was so fun, but it was just awesome to be in a different country and about to go into these classrooms and work with these students. And we were there during their fun time during recess, and they were just so excited that we were there, and they were all trying their hardest to speak English and say what they could, and they were kind of testing to see if we could speak Spanish and trying to have conversations with us, and it was just so much fun, and they were taking pictures with us, and that was just one moment in particular that stood out to me. And then when we actually got into the classrooms, another surprise was how exceptional their English was. In other countries, they start teaching English as early as kindergarten. And in the U.S., we learn a different language when you get to middle school. So they start learning it right away in kindergarten, and they work on it day after day in school. So, they're able to speak in English pretty well by the time that they start getting into 4th and 5th grade already. So that was another surprise to me when we were teaching our lessons in English, how well they were able to interact and participate in our lessons. So that was a good surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So as an educator, these types of experiences where you're able to get into a classroom in a whole different country, right? I mean, what a unique opportunity, not only to give to the community, but for you to learn, right? I mean, this whole idea of community service, we always think about how you're going to help someone else. But really, the things I'm hearing from you was that you learned as much, if not more, than what
Definitely.
you were able to provide to the school and the community that you went to, right?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So we have some video footage too that was actually just filmed today of some students at McKinley High School, a nearby high school here in Buffalo. And these are CIS students, computer information students, who as a service learning class, so this is a course here at Buffalo State that integrates a community service component into that course as an opportunity for students to give back while at the same time learning course concepts. So it's a partnership with a program, with a school, with an organization. Totally depends on the class, but these are CIS students, and they had the opportunity through a course to go into a school and teach coding. So this is some video footage of those students working with high school students to teach them some real basic coding using some fun programming. So they were coding a game, basic, I think it was like a soccer game. So figuring out how through the game the ball moves around and the players adjust, and so the whole coding activity gives the high school students a chance to make that game work. And then it gives our Buffalo State students the opportunity to teach those concepts. Really a critical component, right? If you want to be an educator or you even want to do any sort of training, you need that experience right up front in order to be able to be the best educator that you can possibly be. So that CIS course is a really powerful opportunity for the high school kids to learn coding that otherwise the school may not have the capacity to be able to provide that type of a program, but our students can come in and teach the students that class. So Kyle, I'll throw the question back at you about a surprising learning that you've had.
Yeah, actually something that still kind of has an effect on me today is how much you can get done in like such a short period of time, and and who it affects afterwards. So going back to Boston, the trip that I went on, we got the pleasure to work with the Greater Boston Food Bank. So as a team, we had to go down this assembly line and like sort food either by like condiments or utensils or stuff like that, and then you had to follow through and package it and ship it, kind of. So it was really cool to work together as a team, and afterwards, which I had no idea they were going to do, but afterwards they tell you how many families you helped. And we were there for 2 hours. We were there for 2 days, 4 hours each. So in 2 hours, though, we helped about 4,000 families.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So over our 2 days there, that Tuesday and that Thursday, we helped about 16,000 families, which it has a huge effect on me today. I mean, it's, what was that, 4 hours worth of work, and you're helping
Right.
16,000 families. So that is just a crazy number to me that I'm glad I got to be a part of and would love to do again someday.
Yeah, I think that's really important to remember that students have very, very busy lives. We all know that, but it doesn't always take a huge commitment to really make a difference, right? We even integrate a community service project into new student orientation now, just to give students that chance right up front to understand the commitment Buffalo State has to community engagement and to community service. So this past summer orientation, for example, for first-year students coming in, we created 1,000 bags that are now being delivered actually this week for to individuals filled with Thanksgiving meals. So there are these Thanksgiving holiday bags filled with turkey and stuffing and cranberries. So we did that. We made activity kits for children of deployed military personnel. When the individuals getting deployed, they often have to take the whole family with them to these trainings. There's components where a spouse or children even need to be present, but then there's other times where the kids are getting bored. So the American Red Cross asked us to create activity kits, and Ada was in charge of making a coloring book that the kids used, can use while they're waiting for their parents to go through these meetings and things like that. So that's just a couple examples of real quick things that in a half-an-hour project during new student orientation, we made 100 activity kits, we made 1,000 of these bags, and many, many other types of projects like that, where it just takes a little bit, or you can make a huge commitment, and that's totally up to you and the amount of time that you have to be able to dedicate to the projects that you're most interested in doing. Okay, Ada, I'll throw one back at you. Why should a student who's considering coming to Buffalo State, so the students who might be tuned in, why should those students care about doing community engagement opportunities while they're here?
Well, talking from a personal experience, I started off freshman year with a psychology major, but once I began to get involved with like volunteering a lot more, I started to volunteer in the after-school programs at a bilingual school. So I started to really work with kids, and eventually that made me realize what I really wanted to do as my career. So that's why I changed my major to Spanish to work with bilingual kids. And so it is important for kids to get involved in the community, just because that could really be an opportunity for you guys to, you know, figure out what you want to do as a career. And you never know, you might find something, do something you've never done before and actually like it. So it's really important to get involved.
Absolutely, those career opportunities,
Yeah.
as well as just understanding that we all have a role to play in making a difference in and around issues that you care about. Yeah. Kyle, what do you think about that question? Why should a student want to get involved?
Yeah, definitely. So I remember freshman year, I kind of only worked. I kind of had no time to really get involved and engage. And it's something that I'll look back on and probably will regret a little bit, because I didn't get involved until about my sophomore year. But it's a big thing. You want to be a part of the community. You want to give back as much as you can. And while you're doing that, you also build these friendships and relationships. I mean, I never would have met these two lovely ladies there at the end of the table if I didn't go on Ada's trip the one time. So you just never know who you're going to meet or how you can positively affect someone's life if you don't go out there and at least try to give something back.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely some lifelong friendships have been made.
Yes,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Christine, what do you think?
Well, especially the international experiences, I think they really broaden your horizons, and like Ada was saying, they show you possibilities that you never really would have imagined possible. You know, I pictured myself coming to Buff State, doing my program, going into the schools, but never really having that international component. And we really did feel like we were giving back to when we went, because the materials that we took to use in the classroom, so we had lots of books, we were showing them different strategies to use in the classroom, so we had all of those materials, we took them with us, and we left them with them in the classroom, so they were able to continue to use those, because a lot of the classrooms have a severe lack of resources, so we were able to leave those. So I guess it's more than just expanding your resume. You're really expanding yourself, and you come back a changed person. And even if it's not an international experience, anybody going into college should look into reaching out to the community, because it really shows you a different side of yourself too that you might not have known was there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Buffalo State is the only urban SUNY four-year comprehensive school in the SUNY system. There are 64 institutions, but Buffalo State is in a really unique place where we're located in the city of Buffalo, and that does set up a lot of opportunities as well. These guys have talked about networking and connecting, so it sets up opportunities that may not otherwise be available to students at other more rural campuses. So the Dare to Care opportunity is one great example where it's really easy for students at Buffalo State to get connected and to get involved, because Dare to Care, you know, is just a Saturday morning. We put you on a bus, you're able to get out, really realize that, again, like Kyle said, it does not take a significant amount of time. You get 800 individuals in the city and you accomplish such an incredible amount. So that, you know, that commitment of just a little bit of time through that type of a program is really pretty remarkable. Okay, let's turn it back to Cheyenne. Cheyenne, remind us again of your major, and what do you think, why is it important for you to be involved in the community as a biology major?
Yeah, so like you just said, I am a biology major, but by the end of this year, I will be an individualized studies major, so I'm incorporating biology and psychology. So biology, we all know, is the study of life, and then psychology is about, the mind and just the way that we think and our behavior and how all of those things make us who we are. And it is essential and very important for me as like a biologist or like a biopsychologist to be involved in the community because, again, it's a study of life and we all live life every single day, and just to understand it from a more scientific aspect and to then go social and just incorporate those two, it gives me sort of an edge to really understand people and to say this individual may think this way because of X, Y, and Z, just put things together instead of sort of just going ahead and just judging people and saying, well, your circumstances are because of you. Your circumstances are, what you make of it, where it's like there are different things that are a part of life that, makes decision for us, or we don't have any control of it or over it. So just having that understanding and being able to share with people that it's okay. Sometimes it's okay to be sort of at rock bottom. You're going to make it out, you just have to sort of, again, bring in your community, and you can't do it by yourself. So community is very essential into sort of expanding life and understanding life. So yeah, absolutely.
Wow, great. Fantastic. Christine, what do you think? Remind us of your major and then why you think it's important to do community service connected to that.
So within education, I guess there's two ways you could look at it. You could look at it with the international aspect and you're experiencing different cultures and different school systems and education systems. But right here in Buffalo, too, we have an extremely diverse, extremely diverse school system. So I think there's like 75 languages spoken throughout the schools. So even just staying in Buffalo and working in those classrooms, you're really expanding yourself as an educator and working with all different types of students that, you might not come across if you're not in Buffalo or going international or being in an area that's so diverse. So I think as an education major, you want to experience all different students that you could potentially have in your classroom when you're when you're actually teaching.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have really good perspectives, and there's a video showing now of some health and wellness students going out to Tapestry Charter School and conducting some health education programs for children at Tapestry. And that, again, is career-related experience. It gives those students an opportunity to apply what they're learning in the classroom and teach that same material back so that you're reinforcing the learning that you're having in the classroom. You're also coming at it, I love how you talked about understanding the human experience, right? You're coming at understanding the different perspectives that people have and realizing we all have various factors that influence us and affect us and draw us into situations that we find ourselves in, really coming to a deeper understanding, right, through your own studies of how those pieces all fit together. It's really critical stuff. Ada, are you willing to address that question too? Because you have another different major.
Yeah.
Remind us of your major and why you think it's important to do community engagement as a Spanish major.
Of course. Well, as I mentioned before, my major, I have a Spanish major. I think this is really important for the community, especially in Buffalo. Like Kristen mentioned, there's a lot of diversity and a lot of Spanish-speaking individuals who still don't know the English language as much. And so I'm using my, I think my major is important because because I was in that position before, so I want to be the help that I wanted when I was in that position. So yeah, just, I've done a lot of work translating documents and little stuff like that with translation and helping out families and students that still need some help with the English language that are Spanish speaking.
Yeah, I think you have a parallel experience to a lot of children in the Buffalo Public School System, and that history that you have and that growth that you've had really brings a lot to helping individuals in the place that they're in to adjust and acclimate to life here, right? So, yeah, I mean, Christine mentioned there's over 75 languages spoken in City of Buffalo schools, 70 alone in the international school, and those individuals are coming. Cheyenne talked about some of the countries that they're coming from: Burma, Iraq, Sudan, Somalia. coming from really challenging situations. And our students have a really positive influence in helping those individuals both adjust to life in their new community and the place that they have been resettled to, as well as just understanding the opportunities that are out there for them, realizing that college can be a goal, it can be an opportunity, and meeting and talking with individuals who are in that experience really helps them kind of bring that understanding to life and give them the chance to realize that that is a goal that everyone can achieve when they work hard to do that. So, okay, I think we just have one more question, and this is, I think, my favorite one. It's to talk about what comes after Buffalo State, right? What's next? What are your future goals? How do you think you'll stay involved in community service after you graduate? And just kind of what comes next for you. Cheyenne, you want to start that one?
Yes, absolutely. This is the best part. So after 4 years of studying and just, just 4 years, you're going to come here and you're going to do it just like I did, just like everyone else here who's done it. We're all about to graduate soon, some sooner than others. But after I graduate, one of my closest friends and I are going to embark on a trip to Africa. We don't know what part of Africa we're going to go to yet, but Felicia Malcolm, who was also part of the Detroit trip and Alternative Break, she recently graduated. So I'm all about adventure. She's all about adventure. So it's just like, why not just do it together?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and so like my end goal is to be a naturopathic doctor, which is just incorporating, medicine and just the whole human being. And being able to do so, I'm going to go learn about medicine in Africa, learn about medicine in South America, and just anywhere that I can. And while sharing my own experience and sharing what I've learned, from one country to another, one individual to another, is always going to keep me in the community. And I just get to build my village each and every single time I go somewhere new, So it's just going to be like amazing. I'm going to probably end up knowing like at least how to say hello in 75 different languages. That's great. So that's next for me.
And I believe it.
Yes, thank you,
I think
thank
you'll
you.
have half of them down. And
Thank you.
that's fantastic.
Awesome.
So you'll have to live stream from Africa
I know,
at
right?
some
Of
point.
course,
Yeah.
Felicia's
Let
a
us
media
know how you're
productions
doing.
major, so we'll have a camera all around. So
Yeah,
yes.
fantastic. That's awesome. Ada, what about you? What are your future goals?
Well, I'm graduating in May as well. So, woohoo!
Yay!
Class 2018. But I plan to stay in Buffalo. I really want to use every work and every connection I've made in during my college career and use that after graduation in the Buffalo community. So I want to work on that and stay involved with the public schools in Buffalo, in the city of Buffalo, and go from there. We'll see.
So glad we get to
hope.
keep you in Buffalo. Too.
Yeah. I'll be around.
Awesome. Do either of you want to tackle that question? I know we could. Yeah.
If you want.
It's so fun to hear about everybody's long-term thoughts and
Yeah,
plans.
definitely. So I'm not class 2018. I'm 2017. Right there. Just missed it by a month. But so after, I plan on working for at least a company that'll has some type of corporate social responsibility to where they give back as well. That is like kind of my end game. I mean, I know it's business, but as far as me still staying involved, I want to make sure that's like one of their main focuses. That way, when I'm there, it could also be one of my main focuses as well.
Yeah.
It's just a big part of my life that I don't want it to leave.
I think that's a good point too, right? It doesn't matter what your major is. There's an opportunity to connect both through your college career as well as after your college career around issues that you care about. So you're right, choosing who you work for can be part of that decision process. And you can choose a company, a corporation that is socially responsible. It's becoming a bigger and bigger mission of many corporations locally and nationally. So I think that's really exciting. You have that in mind.
It's definitely a main focus.
That you're looking forward. Christine, I know graduation isn't quite so soon for
Not
you,
quite.
but what
That
about?
just gives me more time to be involved during college. But
Yeah.
so I guess my main future goal obviously is to teach and to have my own classroom. And I'm an exceptional education major, so I have plenty of different options of where I could be. But kind of the same with what Kyle was saying. I'd like to stay involved in the community any way that I can. I guess I'll kind of just have to see when I get there what pops up and what needs help and where the opportunities lie. But I guess I'd always like to have a hand in the community if I can.
Yeah, and I know you're traveling again this winter, right?
I am. I'll be going on another IPDS trip to Italy in January. So it'll be about the same amount of time, 2.5 weeks. We'll be going into the schools and working with those students, and it'll be awesome.
Fantastic. Great. Well, I think we're ready to wrap up. I really want to thank our 4 students who came out for the panel. You guys were insightful and thoughtful and reflective and really gave future students an opportunity to think about the variety of experiences that they can have while they're a student here at Buffalo State. So I thank you very much for your time. You know, as a future student, there are, you know, these are just a sampling of opportunities. So there are endless ways to get involved. This year alone, we had over 75 service learning courses. So you saw a couple of videos. These guys talked a little bit about how their academic experience connects to the community. So, you know, one semester alone, there were 75 different options to choose from. So when you're registering for courses, this is something that you can keep in mind to think about ways that you can incorporate your own passions and make choices in your class schedule that provide you the opportunities to connect to the community. And then there's you know, lots and lots of co-curricular experiences too, and you heard about some of those things. So there are numerous opportunities to get engaged. Our own Buffalo State College president, Dr. Catherine Conway Turner, this is critical and important work for her as an individual, as well as kind of setting forth the mission for Buffalo State to be an engaged institution that's socially responsible, that's an anchor in our community, and really provide students the opportunity to get connected. So it is from the top down at Buffalo State. There's tons of student leadership opportunities and you know, tons of great people that are involved, just like these 4 students that are with us today. So I want to thank you very much for joining us. You're welcome to contact me. The best way to reach me is through our campus email. It's CCE, which stands for Civic and Community Engagement, at buffalostate.edu. Our phone number is 716-878-3919. If you have general admissions questions, the best way to reach the admissions office is an email as well, admissions@buffalostate.edu. Again, you're welcome to make some comments on the video stream as well. We'll address those after the feed. But reach out to us. Let us know what you're interested in. We're happy to get you connected while we're here. So thanks very much. Have a good night.